DIY.
DIY is over the last week. J.Cole, out of nowhere, dropped a new song called Port Antonio. And in this song, not only is he kind of giving you a state of mind of where he's at, but he's also breaking down the reasons why he chose to apologize. Not like he didn't already explain that in great detail on that Dreamville stage, but I feel like he felt the need to give some more context. Now, like I said, the song comes in the form of this here. It's a 5-minute and 16-second song called Port Antonio. We already heard the full version here, which, by the way, you can jump here on the patreon.com/Curtis King TV if you want to see the full reaction of this. We're going to zero in on his second verse, because in his second verse, he gets to some details really around the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake details, as well as why he got into his apology and how he saw things play out and why he chose peace. Now, I got some thoughts on this one, but let's go ahead and play it and we'll break it down bar by bar.
Ride to it, ride to it, ride to it. Y'all niggas ain't stopping me. 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 Yeah, Benjamin Button, cold flows, reverse time. To find deliveries good as mine, you gotta search primes. I'm scaling heights higher than birds can perch, trying to be something, hoping that peace comes to my cursed mind. One thing's for sure, that I've matured from my first rhyme. I learned long ago, you can't please them all, and it hurts trying.
Okay, respect, Cole.
In this game where all you've got is your name like dirt, I'm smirking at niggas trying to besmirch mine. Absurd times.
Okay, back to this line right here. I'm smirking at niggas trying to besmirch.
Your name like dirt, I'm smirking at
niggas trying to be besmirched mine. I did notice, and shout out to, we just had her as a guest on here last week, chilling with Moni. She drew attention on her channel. There's a video right now that breaks down what seems to be a collective effort to go at J. Cole or to pit J. Cole versus Drake. Now, I think we need to separate something here because there's a lot of new people here. Salute to y'all being here. You need to understand, every reaction channel, every reactor that you come across here in this YouTube space is not made the same. This is a reason why you saw things go a certain way with my guy, the company man, and What's the Dirt. You should be careful when you come in here. That's the first thing. Second of all, as we're talking about people who have been putting smut on his name, there has been an effort, and I saw Moni talk about it, there has been an effort to make J. Cole be the next target. And Rotary and Mall, academics, but these are the things that we expect because we know that this is a business for all of them. And there are people who fuel things even if they don't truly stand behind it or believe it because it does great business. And so maybe I'm thinking this is what inspired him to even release this song. I'm sure the fall off is coming very, very soon, but I know that he's seeing all of this stuff because, you know, who would be, if anything, somebody like a J. Cole who spends his time out of the limelight purposely, riding his damn bike, minding his business. I'm sure he's looking at this stuff like, oh, y'all really trying to flip this narrative right now. So I imagine this had a lot to do with it. But there's some interesting things here because in my opinion, after listening to this a few times already, it brings more questions than it does answers. And not that any of us were searching for more answers about the apology. I think he did that really well in terms of explaining that at the festival. But I'll let him cook.
Niggas trying to besmirch mine. Absurd times where the fake get told it is wise. I can see hate in both of your eyes, but the third's blind. So you search lines, but you struggle, which explains the puzzled look on the dull faces the word finds. I hate when raps become, but like do not disturb signs. Can't knock it if I see it's about the dough. They instigate the fuckery because it's profitable. But singing stop the violence tunes with dudes in hospitals.
Now, not sure who he's aiming that at, But I imagine it is the media outlets is one of them. I'm sure it's many different people. The media outlets, the record labels, the major labels that profit off of seeing conflict. They profit off of tension. They profit off of, violence, at least adjacent violence, right? Being on the promotion end of things, covering certain stories. There's a reason that this channel in particular, it's called Integrity, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry if some of you don't know what that is. We don't cover a lot of the stuff that is going on, especially legal stuff that I have that is above my pay grade. We don't cover that stuff. There's a lot of stuff even involving Myrna. I'm gonna just say Myrna, because YouTube is on doing the YouTube thing. There's a lot of things that I don't cover here because I feel like street business is street business and it should stay street business. But I do feel like as media advances, especially as hip hop media advances, and some of these media outlets like academics are granted access to artists and can actually have an effect upon the relations of different artists because of shit that they flame, aka some of the stuff going on with Top 5, I think that it does become more problematic because it's like, what are you truly doing with your platform and what is your goal? Do you see some of the issues that you may have caused even with the war in Chirac coverage? Do you see that? So I imagine that's what I'm seeing it as, but I do think there needs to be a separation as we kind of dive into this. But I mean, he's cooking. He cooked the whole way on that first verse. He's getting to some more stuff. Let's get it.
I pulled the plug because I seen where that was about to go. They wanted blood, they wanted clicks to make their pockets grow. They see this fire in my pen and think I'm dodging smoke. I wouldn't have lost the battle, dog. I would have lost the bro.
I don't know where you were at in the beginning of this battle. I don't know where you're at in life, age, whatever it is. I can speak for myself. There was never a time that I looked at this battle and I was like, man, I want to see bloodshed. I know that we're talking in lyrics right now, but it's not a time where I'm looking at this and I'm like, I want to see bloodshed. Matter of fact, I'm on record as saying what will be a win for me in this battle is for both of these gentlemen to walk away with both of their lives, protect, be able to still provide for them families and keep on going. But the competition is the competition. That's the foundation of this very hip hop culture, right? Now, this is being done in a mainstream environment. So there are factors that get factored in that wouldn't necessarily be from the traditional hip hop culture. But nonetheless, it's in this space, and seeing that competition is something that a lot of people wanted to see, especially when you have artists like Drake, like J.Cole, and like Kendrick, who don't shy away from telling you how great they are at what they do. Especially not Muhammad Ali, J.Cole, especially not first-person shooter J.Cole, especially not braggadocious J.Cole. I think there's an expectation that is set by the way that you rap on certain songs. When your tone sounds a certain way, when you say y'all can't fuck with me, there's an expectation when someone's fucks with you. And I feel like it's confusing for me, my friends. They see fire in my pen and think I'm dodging smoke.
There's fire in my pen and think I'm dodging smoke. I wouldn't have lost the battle, dog. I would have lost the bro. You wouldn't have lost no damn friends. Especially not off of what you did on 7-minute drill. Which I still believe. My theory is that Drake gassed up J. Cole to do it. Because when you listen to some of them talking points, some of the stuff that he said about Kendrick's album, this album being a dud, it sounded like he was rapping that and didn't believe it. Matter of fact, it was part of the things that he apologized for at the festival. It sounded like Drake talking points. You should say this about him. You should say this about him. You should say this. I would say this if I was in a battle. I'm not in a battle, but if I was, I would say this. That's what it sounded like. I just don't see two people who are students, two gentlemen, two grown men who are gentlemen of this craft, who understand the competitive nature, who have been friends even after a control verse. I cannot see this being something where you lost the bro. You know what bro I think you would have lost? Drake. So maybe this is a Drake line. Maybe this is a Drake one. You probably would have lost Drake because the way that he's been maneuvering around here, you can't breathe in the wrong direction of Drake.
Drake?
Battle dog, I would've lost the bro. I would've gained a foe. And all for what? Just to attain some old props from strangers that don't got a clue what I've been aiming for.
Talking to y'all. He talking to y'all. He talking about these strangers. He talking about the y'all. He talking to y'all. He talking to me. He talking to everybody. But I hurt Aubrey's. I would have hurt Aubrey's feelings. For you niggas, you ain't worth it. Oh, shut up, Luz Fuego. He talking to your ass too. Shut up. He talking to you too.
I remember you was conflicted.
He talking to you too. Unless you sitting in there right now ironing his wave caps. Shut up. Unless you sitting there oiling the man's dreads. Shut up right now. He talking to you too.
Since the age of 14, Jermaine is no king. If that means I gotta dig up dirt and pay the whole team of algorithm bot niggas just to sway the whole thing on social media.
It got a little spicy right here. Uh-oh, wait a minute. He said, hold on, I don't got a clue that I've been aiming for since the age of 14 when I started this rap shit. If I gotta dig up dirt and pay the whole team of algorithm bot niggas just to sway the whole thing on social media competing for your favorable memes, that sound like Drake once again. That sound like Drake. If memory serves me correct, Drake versus Kendrick wasn't about digging up dirt until Drake decided to dig up dirt on Whitney. The Like That verse wasn't about digging up dirt. If we're going to say that's where it starts in this next round of things, it didn't start there. It started with hip hop as the foundation. It started with rap as the competition. But when it was dry, and I be with bodyguards like Whitney, maybe I'm talking about your girl, Whitney, then it became something else. Then it became an opportunity for Drake to get violated, which he did. Y'all just seem to not understand that. Just most of y'all do in here. Shout out to y'all. Some of y'all don't understand. That's where shit went left. So when I hear Mr. Cole say, hey, man, look, man, I done lost my bro. He got to be talking about Drake, fam. I got to dig up dirt and pay the whole team of algorithm bot niggas. That would have been if you was battling Drake. I think that if it was a battle between him and Kendrick, you keep it surface level, you keep it bars, you keep it competitive. But the thing is, when somebody doesn't feel like they're a worthy competitor, they got to go for low blows. Same thing in boxing. That's where the term comes from, low blows. And that's exactly what Drake resorts to. And it's not the first battle he does that with. He loves to go and attack the women that are in the life of the rapper and try to find that kind of a weakness, because then you can get the younger demographic on social media on your side. Then you can start running up memes. Is this your girl tour or a world tour? He loves doing that kind of shit. I don't think he would have to do that if it was him versus Kendrick, which is probably why me and a lot of other people were very excited about what that could have been. I never saw that as them losing. I never saw that as them losing a friendship over that. But man, these are just thoughts from Port Antonio.
Pay the whole team of algorithm bot niggas just to sway the whole thing on social media, competing for your favorable memes to be considered best to live and rest. The weight of both things. I understand the thirst of being first that made them both swing, protecting legacies. So lines got.
If I'm reading this right, he's explaining in this section what it would have required of him to engage in this battle, right? To be considered the best or living. Do I want to be considered the best by going through all of these bots and all these different things and doing the things that he outlined, or do I want to live and rest? The weight of both things. He concludes, so lines get crossed, perhaps regrettably. Now some would discredit me, try to wipe away my pedigree. Hold on, let me go back to this. Another line I hear that I saw.
Social media, competing for your favorable memes to be considered best to live and rest. The weight of both things. I understand the thirst of being first.
I understand the thirst of being first that made them both swing. I assume he's talking about Kendrick and Drake in this situation. He said, I understand the thirst of being first that made them both swing. I don't think this was a conversation of who's going to be first. I think that if this was a competition of who's going to be first, I think that it would have been done long time ago. In his 15-year reign of Drake, in which he has controlled the majority of the listener's attention in mainstream rap, right? For whatever run that you want to call that. There has been no doubt about that in terms of just the numbers and being a major label sweetheart. Now, Kendrick has obviously had a juggernaut of a career himself in this very same environment, but we could tell by the type of songs that he put out there, even as singles, that he had a different plan in mind. This did not, to me, feel like a thirst of wanting to be first and be number one. When I see the way that this whole thing played out, the way that that man got dissected in Drake, the way he got dissected, every single song, and then when you see the announcement of the Super Bowl, and instead of doing what somebody who wants to be first does by jumping on social media, going through podcast interviews and taking your victory lap and being like, yeah, you know, this is the way we did this. Kendrick ain't said a damn thing. That don't really sound like somebody that is thirsty for being number one. To me, and it doesn't even sound like protecting legacies. Once again, I think he's describing Drake. I think that Kendrick has been very consistent, even when you talk about Watch the Party Die, in that this was a fight for culture. This was a fight for souls, for young souls who have been hypnotized by a certain regime. It's another way to look at it.
Made them both swing, protecting legacies. So lines got crossed, perhaps regrettably. My friends went to war, I walked away with all they blood on me.
I really wonder what he means by that, and only he knows what he means by that. I walked away with they blood on me. I would assume if somebody walks away with blood on their hands, it means that somehow that they feel like they were part of the reason it happened. And I just feel like this was bigger than Jermaine for a long time. Them two, Drake and Kendrick, have been subbing for the last X amount of years, 10 years plus at least. This was already in the making. Now, if he's saying because he put out the 7-minute drill and that might have got things started in a certain way, I could see that. But yeah, if anything, I don't know if y'all saw, there was an anime, it was like an anime video clip where somebody made some kind of cartoon of Jermaine walking up to a cave, and I think Kendrick was leaving after doing something violent and crazy to Drake, and he had blood, and then Cole was looking like kind of like it feels like that kind of imagery. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, but I would love to hear what he says that's all about. But I don't know. Do y'all feel like it's blood on Cole's hand? I'm very curious. Here we go.
Now some will discredit me, try wipe away my pedigree, but please find a nigga out that's rapping this incredibly.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. This the problem. This the problem. This the problem. You literally did the thing inside of the thing. You did the thing again. J.Cole, Mr. Jermaine, you did the thing right here. Now some will try to discredit me, try to wipe away my pedigree. Brother, you was on your peace journey. You on your peace journey. Why does this even matter right here? You are on your peace journey. Them two was trying to fight for number one spot. But what I won't let y'all do is discredit me or try to wipe away my pedigree. This is the issue. This right here. We see you. Tripp said, how can you rap without saying how good you are?
I remember you was conflicted.
You gotta answer that.
Some will discredit me, try wipe away my pedigree, but please find a nigga out that's rapping this incredibly.
You had your opportunity to show if there's a nigga out here rapping as incredibly. Incredibly is an insane word. Incredibly. Sound like a damn Nick Cannon show. Incredibly. You had your opportunity. You had your opportunity. You had your opportunity and you chose peace. You had your opportunity. We found him. His name is Kendrick.
I remember you was conflicted.
You had your opportunity because if this was just about raps, that wasn't going to be the nature of you versus Kendrick. That would be the nature of you versus Drake. But you had your opportunity. So now after apologizing, it's like the person that apologized to you for getting out of pocket, but still kind of low key talking shit a little bit, like trying to make you feel guilty for being still in the competition. Like, yeah, I jumped out that game because like they was getting way too aggressive. They was fouling like crazy and shit. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, I think it's really primal of them to be in that basketball game to begin with anyways. I feel like there's more important things you could be doing at this stage as an adult, right? Like instead of playing like, you know, like childish games and all of that, like, you know, peace means a whole lot more. Shut up! Respectfully. With love. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Am y'all seeing what I'm saying? And I love Cole. Don't get it twisted. I love Cole's music. But this...
I remember you was conflicted.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
My dog texted me, I share the words he said to me. If you refuse to shoot the gun, don't mean the gun ain't deadly.
I got that thing on me, though. I know when it was time to shoot, I didn't shoot. But I just want you to know, don't let that apology fool you. I got that thing on me. I don't understand. And it's not for me to understand, right? This is his idea of peace. If he has peace, he has peace. Who gives a damn what a Curtis King thinks? But what are we explaining then? Because then now I have to now question, what is the purpose of this song reaching the public? I know it as a rapper myself. I know it as a writer myself, how therapeutic it is to just get your thoughts out there. This feels like a journal entry that should have never went public. Oh, did I just say that? Let me shut up. This feels like a journal entry that should have never went public. His homie told him, man. His homie told him.
I guess in the words he said to me, find a nigga out that's rapping this incredibly.
My dog texted me. I shared the words he said to me. If you refuse to shoot the gun, don't mean the gun ain't deadly. Yeah, if my homie sent that to me, that shit might irritate me. I ain't gonna lie. If I just apologize and you send me some shit like this, I feel like you got pity on me. You look, just because you didn't shoot back don't mean that you ain't got that on you. Like, I know you got it. I know you what you would have did was we're not here for what it dids. This sounds like the famous basketball player. You put a name to this. This sounds like the famous basketball player that talked about how crazy of a competitive edge he has over his competitors. How Mamba-like his mind state is. And this is not about Kobe because Kobe won rings. How Mamba-like his mind state was. And then when it was time to shoot the ball, or it was time to show up for the big game, this is what we get. What I would have did if I was playing in that game, what I would have did. And mind you, I'm talking now as a fan of this, right? I'm talking as a fan of just hip hop, right? I'm an artist myself. I don't know what it's like to be a J.Cole. I don't know what it's like to be a Drake. I don't know what it's like to be a Kendrick. But just as a fan, don't say Ben Simmons. Don't you dare say Ben Simmons. Don't you call Jermaine Cole Ben Simmons. Even though Ben Simmons is hitting a lot of threes right now. He's hitting a lot of threes right now. A lot of these features from J. Cole have been very like the highlight videos of Ben Simmons right now. But don't you dare say that about Jermaine. Don't you worry about it, Dream Villers. I got this. Don't you dare. I don't care how many threes Ben Simmons hits from the corner. We know what kind of season he's about to have. But what I'm saying is that the things that he's now bragging about, he's showing that it has some kind of meaning to him. Because he cares about the same legacy that he just accused those two of fighting over. His own.
Ain't deadly, I guess in that metaphor, hypothetically, the gun is me. I text her back like, guess a gun ain't what I'm trying to be, my nigga. They stripped me of my spot and now I'm finally free, my nigga.
Hey, man, on normal circumstances, I love that for Cole, bro. I love that for Cole. He just sits back and he says, you know what? I responded back to the friend that sent me that text. Hey, I appreciate it, but if the metaphor means that I'm the gun, I don't want to be a gun. Matter of fact, me apologizing and me putting myself in this place is finally bringing me peace. Oh, that is, can we, round of applause for that. Come on, man. Ain't nothing, we want to see that. We want to see that. But then it makes you ask the question, like, so then why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we here again? And why are we here so many months later? Could it be that we know this is going to be fantastic fucking promotion for your album coming out? Y'all gonna hate me for saying this. You gonna hate me for saying this. I don't care how conscious these rappers come off. I done met a lot of them. I have never met J.Cole, and I think he might be an amazing human being. These niggas are still human beings. And promotion still works the same way for every one of them. In a time period where it seems like who the hell knows is going to happen to the music industry in the next X amount of months, everybody cares about marketing. As much as some people are presented to be the anti-marketing effort, there's a marketing effort behind that. And when I look at J. Cole and I see that he has found his peace, I love that for him. I love that for him. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that from a genuine place of I've been in this game 20 years and I understand how much chaos can come across your doorstep and your plate. But however, let's not think for a second. These folks ain't trying to pay bills. Let's not think for a second that they're not trying to secure legacies while they are still in the public eye. This is for sure. Because the thing about it is, the same people that you're talking about in terms of reactors, and I don't take any personal thing to that. I don't look at that as that. But the same thing about reactors looking for blood, searching through every line, misconstruing lines. You just gave them a serving size to react to. You just gave them a serving size to react to, and you knew what you were doing. Because now, who is the topic of conversation today? This is the lead story now for a channel like this. It's literally this. Months and months and months and months and months after it's done. I don't care how conscious. Look, Kendrick himself is one of the most mysterious superstars you've probably ever seen in hip-hop. But brother, don't you get it twisted. He may not necessarily be the marketing savant and genius, but he is surrounded by people who know how to make his mystery, his mysterious ways, a marketing plan. So let's stop. Let's just stop it for a second. Cole don't care about the clout. Did he would have put this in a journal entry and continued to sip on ayahuasca shakes?
They say I'm picking sides, hey, don't you lie on me, my nigga. To start another war, hey, Drake, you'll always be my nigga. I ain't ashamed to say you did a lot for me, my nigga.
Look, man. My favorite, my brother's on stage, hugging and kissing on stage. Euphoria.
I remember you was conflicted.
All right, so I never think it's an issue to big up your brother, especially somebody who has looked out for you. But I do think it's really interesting. After all of the stuff that has gone down, all right, all the stuff that has gone down with Not Like Us, Meet the Grams, right? All the folks who are starting to come to the forefront. Is it Ebony Prince? Was a gentleman that was on Twitter? Of all of the folks that have come to pass, why nobody started digging more into them details of the stuff that we got presented with in Not Like Us?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Why don't you see more people coming to the defense of Drake? Right now is a safe time to do that. But why don't you see more people coming to the defense of Drake? What do they know that we don't know? Why did people stop digging down that hole? And I'm not saying that. I'm just the Ville. Shout out to the Ville. You in here too. Why nobody keep digging down that hole? Because my thing is this: if you my boy, I'm just saying this, and I know this is different circumstances. If you're my boy, you're my peer in this game, right? And somebody my other boy just told me, hey, there's some really questionable things on this dude's reputation and some of the people he keeps around him. I don't know if I'm getting that line off until I talk to my boy. Especially in this time right now where I'm talking to a very specific few of you when I say this. There's a cultural moment that is happening. There is no denying it is happening right now. It is happening on all these different levels. Matter of fact, I don't know if you saw this. I'm kind of jumping the gun right now on a story. But Kendrick Lamar breaks chart record as Drake makes shocking departure from the Hot 100. This is one of many things that I can point to that is going to show you a shift is underway. And it's not just a shift for us who are tapped in, right, to hip hop culture, is a shift happening for a lot of people because a lot of things are happening right now. And a lot of people are bringing questions to the forefront. So when I see this, I'm like, history may not treat you right. History may not look back on you in the correct light. Coming to the defense of a guy like this who still got questionable shit out there and is still currently insinuating questionable behavior by his guy Top 5. He's sending DMs. He's encouraging the shit. I know there's a news report that came out that says he doesn't support that. He's supposed to do that. That's a PR move. But there's so many things that are happening that are still questionable. Matter of fact, the second story is him talking about how he ain't got no real friends in the industry. Whatever. But it's a weird time right now. And it doesn't seem like that same kind of grace is being put off to the other side with Kendrick. And this got me thinking, and I was talking to Company Man about this. I wonder if after the apology, Drake gave J.Cole a cold shoulder. I wonder if it's just been different ever since then. So this to me seems like hey man, just want to let you know, man. Come on, man. I'm gonna get on there, man.
Now I'm finally free, my nigga. They say I'm picking sides, hey, don't you lie on me, my nigga. To start another war, hey, Drake, you'll always be my nigga.
I don't want no war. I ain't try. Why y'all, Rory and Mar, why y'all over there trying to start another war? That's my friend. Hey, friend. We still friends?
I ain't ashamed to say you did a lot for me, my nigga. Fuck all the narratives. Tapping back into your magic pen is what's imperative. Reminding these folks why we do it. It's not for beefing, it's for speaking our thoughts, pushing ourselves, reaching the charts, reaching your...
Oh, you preaching to me now. I'm getting angry. This is the first part I felt angry at. Don't you remind me why I love what we love. No, I want there ain't no conditional love. That's not unconditional love. That's conditional love. I'm sorry, as a hip hop fan of 20 years plus, I don't just love hip hop for just the expression of self. I love it for that, for sure. Reaching into your minds, deep into your hearts. I love it all. But let's not act like some of the most classic moments haven't been Jay-Z versus Nas. Let's not act like some of the most classic moments in battle rap haven't happened and haven't been significant for forward movement in the culture. Haven't been significant for understanding how to engage in these type of conflicts, which are unavoidable when you're rapping a certain way. This is all a part of the culture that we love, right? And the competitive nature, to me, is the same thing as any friendship with your homie. I don't become less 50 versus Ja. I know it wasn't as serious, but 50 versus Kanye. These are things that are part of the equation. Don't make me, come on. He really, how did Pac versus Biggie help the culture? I didn't say it helped the culture, but I said that the competition is absolutely a part of all of this. And with that comes pros and cons. When you love somebody unconditionally, there's pros and cons to that. You leave yourself open to be hurt, and you're going to be hurt. Does that mean that your love meant anything less? No. That means that that's a part of loving that way. You learn your lessons and you move forward. There's a reason we still have Kendrick and Drake in front of us, alive. There's a reason it didn't resort to gun battle, because lessons have been learned. And because this is a industry that was hijacked by people who don't care about it, they allow certain things to go through their pipelines. They also market and push a lot of this shit to the forefront. So a part of the reason why I believe that ended the way that it did and intensified the way that it did is because of how visible their beef was to everybody, even in a pre-internet world, to answer your question. Right? As we talk about the Vibe magazine covers that were East Coast versus West Coast, I remember that as a kid. As I see the news only covering stories about hip hop when it was something negative, I remember that because that was the only mediums. So what I'm saying is lessons have been learned. Some of these rappers are in a better position. I look at right now with Jay-Z and Beyonce putting not a cease and desist, but an ultimatum sent from their attorney to what's old boy's name? He just had an interview with Jaguar Wright. What's old boy's name? I know one of you here know it. The guy from the UK. Refresh my memory. Piers Morgan. I think that we live and we learn, and then we go a part of that. But the thing about it is, what we're not gonna do. this is nasty work, Cole.
Keeping your hearts beefing.
Because it's like you saying something that people can't disagree with. Like, yeah, it is part of it, but it's like you can't shoot in the air for years, shoot off these subliminals, talk about how these niggas like you saying shit that could be misconstrued as even shots at K-Dot, shots at Drake, and then after you done got your shots off, you're like, hey man, it's too loud in here, man. We you know what? We need peace, okay? But you over there, don't you forget, I still got that thing on me. I got a text from somebody, all right? I got that on me. But I don't need that because I'm at peace right now. You preach it to, come on, man.
It's what's imperative, reminding these folks why we do it. It's not for beefing, it's for speaking our thoughts, pushing ourselves, reaching the charts, reaching your minds, deep in your hearts, creeping to find emotions to touch, something inside to open you up.
Yes,
help
it
you
is,
cope
Cole.
with the rough times and shit. I'm sending love cause we ain't prime and shit. My nigga, y'all niggas ain't stop.
I'm sorry. I know this ain't him, but I know that the person I get it's not him, but I'm just saying this. The person I get their ass whooped always seem to be the person that want to talk about we need more unity. After you get your ass whooped, it's always unity. It's always, you know what, man? I just had to slow down and think about life. I had to slow down and just think about it's always, and I feel like maybe that's what's happening at this point in the media sense, how they're doing J. Cole. And I do think they're doing J. Cole unfairly. I think that there are people out here who genuinely want blood. They want it in whatever capacity. Why? Because they look at those folks in that mainstream rap, they look at you as just a view count. They look at you as just another talking point. So I'm with you, Cole. I understand that there's people out here who thirst off of that. But at the same time, that doesn't take away from the fact that, not the fact, that doesn't take away from what it appears on the outside is that you're a competitive human being. You're competitive about this craft. You need to always remind people that you're him. And there was an opportunity to do that. And you didn't. And it's okay. But this feels like it just...
I remember you was conflicted.
But that's that. That is that. I did a little research. Port Antonio. Let me go ahead and get this on here. Not that this, is, I don't know if this is relevant to you. It is relevant to me. I like to get all of these details when we get into this stuff. Port Antonio is a city in Jamaica. So I imagine even the photo that was for this song was taken in Port Antonio. So it really just sounds like a journal entry that was made public. I like this take that I saw here on Twitter. It was a lot of folks had some crazy takes, and I don't want to get to all the takes. I said what I said. This don't make me any less of a fan of J. Cole, but I think forever when I hear them confrontational bars, I'm just going to be like, okay. Okay. For sure, bro. You just rapping. It's all good. Duff Juice on Twitter said, "Start with love. This is dope. Absolutely. The song, it's cool. Ain't a bad song at all. But I heard J. Cole just say he walked away because he seen where it was about to go, and he wouldn't have lost a battle. He would have lost a bro. And then like 12 bars later, he said, find a nigga that's rapping this incredibly. Cole, we found him. His name is Kendrick Lamar."
Somebody gonna have to tell it. I'm gonna tell it.
But that's not what I pulled from this. Me personally, it's the figurative asterisk that is now forever on his legacy. The braggadocious I'm the best MC bars will forever get a side eye now. This song sounds like, okay, y'all, here's why I backed out the battle and here's how I feel about it. That's all I hear. But don't throw rocks at us. Battle for what? Just to please some strangers on the internet? No, nigga. Battle because it's one of the portions of the foundation of hip hop. Dropping a diss, apologizing for it, then deleting it is anything but hip hop. Cole is Cole, but he's always going to be Cole. But to me personally, I don't want to hear this bullshit anymore. I disagree at one point in that apologizing for it and then deleting it is anything but hip hop. No, I think it is hip hop. I think it represents growth in hip hop. And I think that growth is going to look different on a lot of people. I think that every generation cannot carry on the same habits as the one before. I think that every generation needs an opportunity to cement their feet and be who they are. And if you are somebody that loves to talk a lot of crazy shit in your raps, but when it comes down to it, you don't want to lose friendships, that's a thing too. That's a thing too. And we need to leave the opportunity open. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't talk about leaving the opportunity open for hip hop to evolve. But yeah, Yeah. This is interesting. This is interesting. All right, let's get to some final thoughts on this and get to the next story. So, you know, Cole, man, there is never a denial in my mind how amazing of a lyricist Cole is, how amazing of a songwriter and storyteller that Cole is. Matter of fact, for all these factors, the things that he has said, there was times where he said multiple times how great of an MC he is and how much that meant to him because, as he said in this song, since 14, he had a goal when he set out in mind. And I'm pretty sure at that age, there was at least one of them goals to be known as one of the best. Well, there was an opportunity for you to exhibit that on a stage larger than any stage in the world. And you chose a different decision. Now, I'm not here to judge that. That ain't none of my damn business, bro. We all got things that we got to do as grown men. We all got journeys we got to go through. I'm loving that. I'm loving the piece because to me, that offers somebody an alternative route the next time another conflict comes up when you got other folks who are in this limelight who are like, do I want to go this angle because I've seen what it did to a Drake. I see what it did to a Cole. Now you have options, right? And I love the opportunity for evolution. However, what we shouldn't do in the name of evolution is act like these other factors don't mean anything at all. The same energy that fuels the competitive nature in a J. Cole is what makes J. Cole as great of a J. Cole that we know today. Because even though his priorities may have shifted, this is still the same J. Cole that went to go play professional basketball overseas, right? It's still the same J. Cole who has that spirit in him. That's part of what makes him him. That drive is what pushes you to make better songs, pick better production, make better beats, to work with better collaborators, to be competitive in all of your feature works. Like even the stuff he did with T Grizzly recently is dope to me. That is from a competitive spirit. Now, as a part of the evolution, he's finding peace. I love that. But my thing is this: don't become the born again Christian that start pointing their finger at everybody else. See, that's the problem. Y'all like all that damn blood shit. I got blood on my hands, matter of fact, messing with y'all. I just want my peace. But I wanna let you know, I got that peace on me. But metaphorically, I'm still the peace. You feel me? Like type shit. But I'm not. That's not what we here for. Since 14, that's not what I was here for. I was here because I wanted to express myself. But y'all niggas ain't stopping me. It's so many messages. Why you got so many necklaces?
I remember you was conflicted.
DIYers, these are my thoughts. You let me know what you think.
DIY.